Hello and welcome to the Battle of Antietam JMP mod. We have $100,000 and all of my generals are perked the same way. We have Scales, Grant, and Wagner. McClellan is a 3-star. Harland. Sweeney. Yeah, those guys should get their 2nd star. I think they do. Bobby Woods. Franklin. Loomis. Would really like for Loomis to get his 3rd star eventually. Yeah, Baker. I think he was an artillery commander. There's Barrett, who did so well at Shiloh. Yeah, all these guys came up through the ranks, most of them. Okay, I put all these artillery units here because McClellan is a 3-star general and that helps the command line. They're all very good units, obviously. 2nd Division. Notice my infantry is 1-star, and my 1-star units, I think they all have Lorenzes. I have a pile of Lorenzes. I bought a bunch of 61s. This guy's perked for 3rd star, but already, and at the end of the battle he'll have his 3rd star. Same thing with the Napoleon. So we still are looking at Lorenzes, all 1-star units. The enemy is going to be mostly at Antietam 3-star. Now I've already seen that, but there's going to be a lot of 3-star units in this battle. Notice the melee unit, one of them is 1,000 men. I still haven't purchased any vets. So I'd like to get 3 artillery per division, 2 Napoleons, and then 1 long-range gun. I thought my James would do better than it does in this battle. It doesn't get the kills I thought it would get because it only has 1 star. So these guys have 61s. Notice they don't have a unit perk. And so my units are, some of my units are at about 14 to, let's say, 17 efficiency with 61s. And we're going to be facing units that have essentially 100 efficiency, 100 in every stat with Lorenzes. When perks in the JMP mod are really powerful, his infantry units are larger than mine and far, far deadlier. And when we get into melee, even if my units don't rout, they'll take a long time to recover. They'll be completely exhausted and have no morale. So, and it'll take 3 or 4 of my units to get on top of each one of his. So we finally get down to the point where we're using 55s. Yeah, look at these. Efficiency of 13 and 14. Okay, I have started 4 scout units. They do really well. And their goal is to perk out completely in scouting and stealth perks to give me visibility of the battlefield. So these little weapons are really cool. Panda and others told me about the weapons I wasn't familiar with that have the greater range that you recover from the CSA. Perfect for these little scout units. I think I want them to only be about 250. They're 240 right now because I just don't have enough weapons. Okay, these units are pretty small. Yeah, I'm just moving around. I don't know why I moved some of those things around. I don't remember. Okay, my reserve corps. Oh, and I also checked the radius of the generals. They're all the same. The command radius thing has been fixed. Thank you, Panda. They're identical. I have the commanders stand next to each other in the during the battle to see if their aura is the same. Okay, these guys have 61s. They're slightly better. Some of them in the Reserve Corps. I thought they were going to come in at Burnside's Bridge. It didn't work out exactly as I thought it would. So what I end up doing is having to fight a lot more of the battle with my worse units with 55s, with the 12 and the 13 and 14 efficiency units. There's a guy with 12 efficiency. So I should have moved that around. I should have had the better units in 3rd Corps and then my absolute worst units in 4th Corps. So yeah, I need more Napoleons, as you can see. I don't have enough Napoleons. And I have a unit in 4th Division just so that guy gets some XP, and he will get his star. Yeah, these units are too good. These larger good units with 22 efficiency should have been in 3rd Corps. So you want to stack these with your best units in 1st Corps, 2nd Corps, 3rd Corps, and so on. I was trying to be clever, and it didn't work. So everybody has 55,000. I'm going to use a lot of ammo in this battle. Yeah, definitely a mistake. Should have moved these. I mean, they look the same, but they're not. Okay, 70, 50, 38. He has, I have 104,000. The CSA has 107. Those are good numbers for a Major General. I have 322 guns. He has, well, we both have about 300 guns. So we're going to get 25 points, 14,000 men, $360,000. Two of my best units do not come in. My best sniper unit and my I have a unit that, what does he do? He has the rapid fire. It's a skirmisher unit with the rapid fire weapons. I'm drawing a blank. He doesn't come in either. Both of those really good units, they don't show up to the battle. So you have to be careful what units you put in 4th Division, always. Sometimes they don't show up in grand battles. So if there's a unit you definitely want to show up, do not put him in 4th Division. Put him in one of the first 3 divisions. I know this from playing vanilla. Okay, so in my vanilla, unmodded battle of, my campaign on Major General and Legendary, I played with infantry that was mediocre, supported by good artillery. And then I have a campaign on Brigadier General where I'm using just all oversized infantry units, and the infantry units win the battle. Here, I'm using more of the strategy I originally used in the game, which is in the JMP mod, which is mediocre infantry that is hugely out. I cannot stress how outclassed these units are to the infantry that they're facing. The infantry that I'm facing is so much better than the infantry I have here. And this poor infantry has to be backed up by artillery to survive. And I never really think about, like you'll see when I start to maneuver, at one point, the AI just charges my lines with everything he has, which is something that can happen in the JMP mod. And the units that deploy on the other side of the Antietam Creek, rather than have them sit there and wait for an opportunity to cross the bridge, I just have them go north, cross the bridge, and join my main army up here. And this is where I decide the AI wants to fight around Dunker Church. We'll just fight around Dunker Church. We'll just fight here. I'll bring my army up and we'll just slug it out. And I can't really maneuver on him because anywhere I show a weakness will just get mass charged and crushed. But what I can do is take up a good defensive position and counter anything he does with overwhelming power. Now, one of the things about Antietam is this battle took me 13 hours, and half of it, I'm pretty sure, was hitting pause and checking where my units were firing. There's a thing in the game, and I found it with my infantry particularly. I'd have them target an enemy unit, because you have to gang up like 3 or 4 units firing at one enemy unit with artillery support to rout it. Okay, we do that. Then that unit routs. It can go to the other end of the board, and all of my units will still try to target that unit. So you have to pause frequently, and with detached skirmishers, I have 100 units on the board. And you have to hit pause, and you have to double check where everybody is firing and make sure they're not firing to the other end of the world. And this is really important when we get here, because all these units are 3-star units, almost all of them. 3-star units with 98 efficiency. And if you're standing there not firing, which that happened to me several times during this battle, and he walks up with a fresh unit of 2,500 or 3,000 with Lorenz's with 100 efficiency and is putting volleys into your unit, your morale is going to tank. And you're just standing there not firing at all at him. That's going to end really badly very quickly. So you don't want that to happen. So you just have to hit pause a lot in this battle. And yeah, there were times where my artillery, particularly my long-range guns, were firing at the wrong thing. You have to check every unit frequently and make sure they're doing what you want them to do. Now, I think units do better when they're on hold, but when they're on hold, they also don't auto-target as well. So you're better off not putting them on hold, if that makes sense. So I have some units on hold right now because if there's one unit I don't want to be bouncing around, I'll put it on hold so it doesn't bounce around. The other thing that I do is I do target generals in this battle. If you can kill his commanders, that, like I just killed Stuart, that has a huge effect on his units. It's much easier to degrade his morale, and you have to just degrade the morale of his units over and over, and that's basically what I'm doing. So my goal is to hold this defensive position, bring in more units, and start moving to the right on the map. There's a clump of... You're not going to be able to go straight for Dunker Church, but I want to be able to get the woods eventually to the right and set up a nice defensive position there. And then eventually there are woods south of that, and take up a defensive there in front of Sunken Road, and just move from defensive position to defensive position to defensive position. I'd like to draw him out of the woods, but notice how there's a lot... The red bar is pretty long. He will hide a bunch of units in the woods that you cannot see, even with units perked really high for scouting. And you want to be aware of that, because you can get in there, as you will see. I will get in there, and it's just packed with infantry. And I don't want to be in there. I only have 3 units on my right flank, and I don't want to get in there and face 20 of his units. Again, all of his infantry is much better than mine. You don't want to be in there. Yeah, he's hitting one of my units with artillery. I probably don't want to be there. I want to back up. So I was able to get detached skirmishers in the woods and get some visibility. Of course, I want to see his artillery. That's what I want to do. I want my long-range guns to start taking out his guns. We have about 300 guns to take out, so that's going to take a while. Yeah, I don't want to come out into the open because I don't have enough infantry to hold any kind of a line right now if he charges with a bunch of infantry. While we're waiting for this to unfold a little bit, this is on 4 times speed, of course. I just wanted to say how much I'm enjoying the JMP mod, and I'm really looking forward to the changes that are going to take place in the next version of the mod. This is really a fun, just a fun experience. And look, his units are all 3-star, and they're all big. I have to stay in cover. I'm going to get my head taken off. But it's okay. See, here come more units. You just have to be very careful about what you're doing. I want to take out his artillery, but I have to be very, very aware of his units charging in. 2,600 2-star. Okay. 2,000 3-star. You really don't want to get, like, I'm moving an infantry unit up. If we get into melee, I want to get 2-on-1, but you really don't want to get into melee with a line this thin. I would really need a couple of 3 or 4, maybe 5 infantry in the second row. Like, he's charging in now he started 4 units charging in. One of them we got to stop. This unit is in melee here. We have 2-on-1 and we have plenty of fire. So we make him rout right away. There are 2 more coming in. We need to shift fire. My commander's right there. But just be aware, even if you win, you lose, kind of. Your units are going to hemorrhage morale and condition just being in melee. And this is a long battle. Yeah, it took me 13 hours to fight this battle, but that wasn't playing the entire time. I took breaks, I had a meal, and I kept wanting, the J&P mod is so good. This is really an addictive mod. I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to just shut this down and go take a break and, load it up tomorrow and play. And I just wanted to keep playing. It just did not want to stop. I could have, shut down the game, save it, load it up the next day, but just didn't want to stop playing. Hey, this is perfect. He has a unit in the open. I have all my guys in good cover, supported by good artillery. This is costing me a fortune, but we're winning. Don't want to get into melee 1-on-1. Finally, he routs. Good. Now, I don't have to keep firing at these guys that are white, because they're not going to do much damage in the state they're in. I hope they just stand there and let me just keep harvesting XP on them. That would be good. But, so I can shift fire with some of my long-range guns to his artillery. And I keep checking, how many guns does he have on the field? Okay. I originally decided to do what you always do with the troops on the other side of the Antietam Creek, and then I changed my mind and I just have them walk over and join the main force. you can't cross the bridge. They would just get their heads taken off. They get their heads taken off in vanilla. Can't even imagine what would happen to them in the JMP mod. They would all die. I mean, that would... And look, I have those no-star units over there that would have no chance against his very large force of 3-star. Also, he has the high ground with a lot of artillery. Oh, I think I killed this cav. I'd have the low ground. Yeah. Okay. I abuse my Maynards in this battle, which is not like me, but I really abuse them. I'm going to show you that cav is very powerful, especially dismounted. Rifle cav dismounted is incredibly powerful, and but don't abuse your cav like I'm about to in this battle. Be conservative, especially with these Maynards. So I have a 2-star unit with Maynards, and I keep using them like they're invincible, and they're not. You have to use them in the way that they're good, which is on the enemy flanks or in an enormous amount of cover, like in a wooded area, dismounted. If you have, like if I had these guys dismounted in the woods, exchanging shots with an enemy infantry unit of 2,000, that would be fine. And I'm going to show you that in later in the battle. So, long-range guns, trying to target his artillery, take it out. Yeah, I give up on whatever I was trying to do over here and just have these guys come over, reinforce my left flank in front of the sunken road. Yeah, you cannot push through these woods in front of Dunker Church. You cannot do it. He has a bunch of infantry in there. He's going to get more. He would just take your head off. You just forget about it. And I really don't have that many infantry. I have no... I guess you could say I have 1 infantry unit in reserve. A line like this, I'd want to have maybe 3 or 4 infantry in reserve, so he comes running up with a unit of 2,700, fortunately only 2-star. I bring up my melee cav, just in case, but I don't charge into this because he has a bunch of stuff that would fire into that melee that I do not want to engage. Okay, his Jackson is there. Let's kill Jackson. Okay, these guys are going to come in on my left flank, and these guys here, I'm bringing them in, and I'm going to kind of distribute them along the line. I need some more infantry on my right. I need to push in the center and take the clump of woods. I need to kill Jackson. I need to get visibility on his artillery so I can kill it with my long-range guns. Okay, he got reinforced. So he outnumbers me now, I think, and it's all going to be in the woods here in front of Dunker Church. Look at the 3-star units. Yeah, those 3-star, all the Renzas, all close to 100 in every stat. Yep, killed Jackson. That's good. I'm checking Grant and Scales to make sure they have overlapping auras. I'm going to build some scouting cav units of, let's say, 250 in size. Try to get them to 3-star just for scouting. For this sort of thing, I'd be able to put them in that little clump of woods and they'd have some visibility of the battlefield. Okay, he's charging in with a 3-star, 2300. I brought in some of the reinforcements, as you can see, and I'm spreading out the guns and the infantry to reinforce the line. But I still need enough units that are coming down toward the center of the map. So the guys coming down from the north and my units that are coming across from the middle bridge, the other side of the Antietam Creek, are both coming over to this clump of woods, and their job is to get in cover and start giving flanking fire into this enemy position, which is historically the cornfield. Okay, we took out one of his artillery. That was good. That's perfect use of the Maynards, what we just did. That was perfect. My artillery is too close right there, my Napoleon. That is too close. He needs to back up. So I shifted my artillery on the map to the left, the Union right, and the idea was that his artillery, I know, is going to be in this woods. I just have to get visibility of his artillery and then pound it. So that's the goal. It's going to be kind of difficult to kill his artillery. It's going to take a lot more. I'm going to have to shoot at it a lot more, because it's going to be in very good cover. So that drives up the cost. Okay, I was hoping he would let me move into the woods uncontested, but he's not going to do that, so we're going to have to fight. And this is what I mean by his units are really, really good. He's charging over here with a unit of 2,000 on the left. And on the right, he's moving infantry over to the right. That's 3,700. Why did he go invisible? How could 3,700 go invisible? And I do not have enough artillery over there for that, and these units are not very good. And also, the units moving down from the north, they're at about 50% condition by the time they get to their place in the battlefield. I'm trying to fall back. Of course, these units are terrible, so this guy doesn't do what I want him to do. He's only a 1-star unit, fortunately, but he's going to exhaust 3 of my units, I think, in this battle. I have a couple of cav there. He finally breaks, but he's going to exhaust and destroy the morale of 3 or 4 of my infantry that are then going to need a long, long break. Okay, this guy on the left is attacking. He doesn't have much of a chance against all that artillery. And the problem was over here I did not have enough artillery on my left. The Union left needed more artillery. The other thing I'm doing is I'm standing on top of this guy with a melee unit, which might not be the best plan, but we are really hammering this guy, and it's pretty good. On the Union right, see, that was a mistake. He's got a ton of stuff in those woods, and you do not want to be in there taking fire from those 4 units in the woods. We are just clobbering this isolated unit, but his artillery is targeting me. My artillery is targeting that melee. I cannot push into the woods. Okay, he has a unit of 3,900 that is charging, and a unit of over 2,000 that's charging with it. That's 6,000. That is a huge, huge force. This guy over here charging. Unfortunately, there are 2 units. The first one routes. Yeah, this is exhausting for my army. This is absolutely exhausting. Like, we're winning, but my units are now going to require a lot of time to recover from the battle they were just in. So what I need is more infantry and more artillery to continue this fight. These units have to get relieved, go to the rear, rest, recover. Okay, my right is now weak. If he were to charge with 3 units on my far right, I would be in big trouble. And he has the numbers to do it. Okay, it looks like I'm going to be able to get in cover with enough units, and I have noticed there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry units coming down from the north that are going to reinforce this. That's good. And then another unit, another division just came in, or more. So there's more infantry coming in. Yeah, I captured a unit of 1,000, so that was good. He's moving off to the north. Going to capture, I think, 16,000 in this battle and get a ton of Lorenzes. Now, if you noticed, my infantry was firing at a unit on the other side of this unit of 1,000. I had to hit pause and tell him, no, fire at the guy in front of you. Okay, Anderson is here, and he's going to attack. These units are 2,000, 2,300. There's a unit there of 3,000 that has a question mark. So he has a bunch of units in the south of my line, but that's good. They're in the open and downhill. So want to make sure I stay in cover, firing downhill into anybody he has there. Okay, 1,700. We're going to win that, but anybody he runs into is going to be exhausted and then need to rest. Unit of 1,900. 1-star units should do a little better. Okay, Rhodes surrendered, and then he recovered. He was captured back. Okay, need everybody to shift fire against the guys who are charging uphill. They're going to lose. I have too much. The rifle cav on his flank, and he's charging uphill. He's going to lose that. You have to hit pause and just say shift fire also. Yeah, and he has a 3-star in the woods, so I shouldn't have charged. That was a waste of... Good rifle cav. Well, no, that one guy's melee cav, so okay. Schaefer. I lost Schaefer. He was one of the few officers. He might have been the only officer who died in this battle, Schaefer. So that was the commander of my melee cav. Okay, I'm showing you the aura is the same for the different generals. And I check all of the officers. So you don't have to do the thing that I did, put the reserve corps at the top of the order of battle. You can just be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Corps. Three-star unit charging up a hill into lots of fire. He's going to lose that. This is what I want. I finally have, notice I have a lot of artillery. All the infantry there can't fight. Some of it is in the back recovering. But it will recover, and then the recovered units can move to the front line, and units that are currently on the front line can move to the back and rest. So it's all good. So notice the 3-inch guns and Napoleons all the way around, like this arc if he wants to advance, he has to advance into the center into an arc of fire. And that arc of fire is 3-inch guns and Napoleons just putting up a wall of steel right now. And that's what gives me the advantage. I wanted to get kill or capture 60,000. Obviously, I brought everybody and it drove up scaling. I wanted to kill 60,000. I think I killed over 70. I think. Yep, Grant. Yep, same aura. So thanks, Panda. Well done. Yeah, there's still a huge number of troops here. And I'm feeling pretty confident right now, but I should not be advancing into the woods on the Union right. There's a lot in there. And I'm going to try to take the woods to the south. That'll give me even more of an angle onto anything he has. Take away the center of the map from him by occupying the woods to the north and a little clump of trees to the south. So having my guys run forward, and I realize this is a mistake. There's a ton of stuff in the woods. Did not see that. I am surprised. Look, it's 3-star, and he's charging. So we need to get out of there. That was not what we wanted to do. So he's charging here with 2 units, and on the other side he's going to charge, I think, with 2 or 3. So I have plenty of infantry, plenty of artillery, and a melee cav, and I want to capture these 2 guys. But look at the losses my units are taking. Well, part of it is the, friendly fire, but I do capture 2, but 2 of my units are flashing white. They'll quickly recover, but then it'll take them a while to get their morale and condition back. So yeah, I'm showing you Command 105, Efficiency 77, 95 morale, and Lorenz's. Efficiency 84, 90, 94, 93, 84. That's what we're facing. So, my little 1-star and no-star army is no match for this. And perks. Man, perks are so powerful in the JMP mod. So why am I going back into the woods? That was not a good idea. So I have 3 cav here. My thought is I can gang up on this one guy who's isolated and maybe capture him. So I've given orders to Johnson, a melee unit, to charge. My 2 rifle calves should be there giving support. But unfortunately, he has an infantry right there. A 1,500 that's going to fire into this melee. But I do get the capture. I thought that was going to hurt a lot more. Barksdale. We captured Barksdale. Nice. Okay, my army's slowly advancing. The southern clump of woods, in between the 2 clumps of woods. I'm going to take all of the woods to the north. Have to be a little bit clever how we knock this guy out of the cornfield. Have more reinforcements coming in. It took my entire army to get to this point. Oh, one of the things you have to do is, like, my 10-pound parrot, I can tell him to target something, he'll move forward, but then he'll do that glitchy thing where he hemorrhages condition. You have to put them on hold. The other thing you want to do when you tell a unit to move from, an artillery unit to move from one place to another, I mean, we like to tell, like, 10p moving toward target. You want to make sure that they always limber up, because they just hemorrhage condition when they don't. And you can tell a unit to move, like a 20p, move to the other side of the map. They'll try to not limber up and move to the other side of the map and get there with 0 condition. Then you have to put them on hold and not fire for an hour in game to get condition back. So it's a disaster when that happens. So you always have to check and make sure they've limbered up. I'm trying to get visibility of his artillery and maybe put on some flank shots, but this is not a good idea, because he can turn pretty fast. And I just got hit. I got hit by artillery, I'm gonna get hit with rifle fire. Not a good idea. Advancing the infantry slowly, and then advancing the Napoleons and the 3-inch guns. Needless to say, the Napoleons and the 3-inch guns are going to get an enormous number of kills. Yeah, I should not be exchanging shots with this guy. There's no benefit in this. Yeah, I'm just losing good cav for no purpose. What I want is to get visibility of his artillery at the Dunker Church. The one sniper, that's not my best sniper. That's my scout sniper with JF Browns. He's just doing a really good job of giving visibility and getting free shots at long range on enemy units. So that's going well. I wish I had my good sniper, my sniper perk with 2 points, and my other unit that has really fast repeating weapon, also 2 perks. In cover like this, he'd be perfect. He would just be perfect. But I don't have him. However, I'm about to put my dismounted cav in the woods when we take it, and they're going to fire out of the woods, and they're going to be really powerful. So that's how you play with them. You don't do what I was doing, trying to get up to shenanigans that fail, half the time and cost you a lot of cav for no purpose. Okay, now I'm starting to think around the sunken road there's going to be a lot of artillery, so I need to get my artillery, my long-range artillery moving, kill his artillery around the Dunker Church. I think there's still one more battery. So obviously there's not much left in the woods. Push him out of here. Taking Dunker Church, I don't think it does anything. But once I'm in cover, in a good position, then I can start moving my artillery to get shots on his artillery, and wipe out any artillery he has around Sunken Road. Again, this is just not smart. I'm losing cav for no real purpose. I hope I get a capture out of this. Nope. Shatter. Okay, now I'm going to use them correctly. I'm going to dismount them, and they're going to fire into these guys and just tear them up. Dismount, dismount, dismount. You really need to hit the dismount button when you can't do it in pause. For some reason that doesn't work most of the time. And I think the dismounted cav actually do better when you put them on hold. Like their shots get more kills. So look at them just unload. Bang. Now, unfortunately, I got all of my artillery moving to the right and left. He's going to charge right in the middle. I wish I hadn't done that now, because look, he's coming in for charges. And my artillery is not in the best place. Yeah, I got 2-on-1 on that guy. That was nice. His units have been kind of shot up, so they're not 3,000 and fresh coming in. They're, 900, and I have the whole world there. But if I hadn't moved my artillery to the right and left, I'm going to bring the artillery back, because he just keeps charging. So I end up bringing my artillery back toward the center and firing into the center, and that's really overwhelming when I get them into place. And I can see two of his batteries on the right side. So I'm moving my long-range guns over there to be able to take shots on him. I'm also spreading out my commanders since the artillery is moved, and I'm moving the artillery wagons, or the supply wagons, where I want them. Hit pause, move the generals, move the supply wagons. Look at that Napoleon. Hit him, Napoleon. What are you doing? There he goes. That was canister fire. And gone. That's what we want to see. Okay, this guy's 2,600, only a 1-star. This guy's 2-star, 800. Yeah, the Napoleon hits him again. He turns white. So, yeah, this has really been quite a beating. That attack he just did was a disaster for the Confederacy. He lost a bunch of units. I think 2 of his batteries are within easy range of my long-range guns, and we'll take those out pretty quickly. So that unit of over 2,000 just shattered. He just got hit by, I don't know, 4 or 5 infantry and a bunch of artillery, and he was gone. And still he attacks. Yeah, I pretty much have all my artillery in place. It took me a little while because I moved my artillery to the right and left, and then I kind of brought it back to support the front line. We're in a really good position. This phase is going to be over in 22 minutes. I'm not sure what's going to happen because I've never played the JMP mod to Antietam, and I assume that there are surprises in store. And also I've scaled the enemy up, so he's going to get reinforcements, and I don't know how many. This guy's moving really slow, so if I get the whole world to hit him, that will be good. This guy of 600, he's in trouble. Yeah, 14 minutes in the phase. I'm moving units to extend my left flank, moving units to extend my right flank. Notice I have a 20p that's in the back. I did something to him that he lost all his conditions, so I'm having him just recover condition for a while. But he's out. Yeah, he's 32%. He's recovered some, but let him get his condition back. That if you don't do it right, that's what you do. You lose a long-range gun that I could be using because I didn't move him correctly from one point to another, and he has to sit out for some long period of time. Okay, that artillery unit, I can't hit him with my long-range guns. There's some terrain hill in the way or something. So we're moving the army to get to the right and left to get around both flanks of the enemy, and then going to push in the next phase. Get the infantry moved up, keep tired units in the back to recover, get the supply wagons moved, get the artillery in support. We have 2 minutes. I'm not doing anything stupid with my cav at the moment, but I'm about to do something stupid with my cav. Okay, those guys on the other side of Burnside Bridge are not strong enough to do anything, and I'm afraid to cross the bridge anyway, because I'm afraid if I take the bridge, the battle ends. Good, he's attacking. Happy to see it. Okay, he has 3 or 4 artillery that are in Sharpsburg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cav on top of each one of them and try to get an infantry or detached skirmisher on top of the artillery in addition to the cav. That way they can't fire. Here's where I do something stupid. I have 560 men. I need a wagon because I already have an empty supply wagon. Now at this point I should get out. He is dismounting, and I'm looking at this going, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Nope, didn't make it. He should have run. That was really bad. That was terrible. Now notice the Frank Wesson and another 1-star rifle unit is going to get on the flank of this guy and just tear him up. So I did need a supply wagon, but I didn't need to sacrifice my my best rifle cav unit to do it. Okay, here are his reinforcements coming in. They're 2,500. Yeah, the rifle cav are just taking shot after shot on that artillery, just tearing them up. And I have a melee cav behind his little force here. I have an artillery unit. It's only a 3-inch. Oh man, that poor 42 melee. Boy, that did not go well. So I'm finally getting smart and dismounting these rifle cav. and they're going to be awesome. This is how you dismount the rifle cav. Anytime you can. Okay, my unit of 700 and something melee cav. There's a 3-inch gun on the other side of the Antietam firing into this artillery unit, and my melee cav is going to make short work of this guy. Yep, he surrenders right away. And I'd like to get some captures here. Look how fragile he is. I also would like that supply wagon. I don't know why. I didn't need all these supply wagons. I have plenty of supply. Boy, even without a commander, look how fast his units recover. My melee cav is doing such a good job. Just such a good job. Okay, I again sacrificed too much of my cav. All I have to do is get somebody on top of this unit of 1700 and this whole thing is over. This is... because they're infantry charging in, we're going to get all 3 of these. But I'm sacrificing way too many cav to do it. And it was not necessary. I could have done this with infantry. So my Frank Wesson unit is going to get some more shots on this guy. We need to kill that 1400. Come on. So I dismount the Frank Wesson. We did capture Anderson. He was taking fire from across the river, artillery fire and rifle fire from across the river. Frank Wesson, commanded by Lane, dismounted, is going to fire volley after volley into this unit. I'm going to get him in cover. There's no Confederate unit holding the bridge. I just don't want to take the flag. Okay, I'm in the farmhouse. Should have very good cover. Yep, 78%. And he can stand there and exchange shots with his 3-star unit and be fine. Get a couple infantry units in support. That'll work out. Yeah, we're doing fine. We're in good cover. We're exchanging shots with a unit of almost 2,000, and we're winning. And his unit, I think it was Garrett, went back into the position, the prepared position here. So I'm moving up 3 infantry. I have 2 of my skirmisher units that can fire at his general, and 3 artillery units, and they can all just get some experience. He will obviously win the exchange with one of my units, which, you know, isn't, my units aren't very good over there, but all the other units can get some experience, and that's better than no experience at all. Okay, at this point, I'm pretty much exhausted with this battle. It's early in the morning, but I still want to drag this out. I know that AP Hill is going to show up with a bunch of reinforcements, turns out about 16 or 17,000. I want to get those kills as well. But that means I now have to move like 100 units. And really, I should have save the game and come back, because like it's way too much work to move 100 units. It just is. Now I know there's a unit at the ford that is just south of where we are right now. I'm not sure exactly how close. Well, I can see how close I am to the ford. I'm too close. Oh, my units. Yep, got too far south, and you can see the little puffs of smoke. So I knew he was there. Almost took the flag. Yeah, this might be a mistake. I'm going to move my army south to meet the enemy. Probably better off just staying where I am and letting the enemy counterattack me. Because typically the AI logic, he'll attack toward the sunken road, maybe toward Sharpsburg, that victory location, but he'll attack right across this little bit of water up a hill. And if you catch him there with all the infantry and artillery in the world, that would probably be better. Yeah, my last units to come in came in, must be the Reserve Corps, and they came in, look at that, 1,700, and they have 61s. They should have been in the battle earlier, but they came in on the north edge of the map, and they walk all the way to the south edge of the map, and I don't think any of them fire a shot. Because by the time they get there, the battle's over. I guess if I'd had my army just set up a defensive position at the town and the water line, they would have gotten up into the battle. And yeah, we have 3 hours and 7 minutes to go, so there's plenty of time. I don't have to push this. I guess I'm grinding condition, but this is more than a little tedious. Trying to move everyone and also keep track of their condition. Oh, there's somebody 5% condition, so obviously that's not going to work. Okay, we're going to hit Kemper from both sides. bunch of infantry, a bunch of artillery. And of course, I'd like to get some captures. I need to leave one person at the bridge just to take the flag at the end. But this battle's going to end with the complete capture of all the enemy units. Yeah, I'm trying to take the time to look at my artillery and make sure that it's limbered up as it's trying to move. That's real important. These units are all flashing white over there. Yep, 16,000. Okay. There's AP Hill coming in from Harper's Ferry. Okay, might have waited just a little bit too long to charge. His unit's shattered instead of surrendered. So let's get on top of this last guy, 1700. Should be a bit of a fight because he's 3-star and my units have no stars. Get a commander there to keep them in the fight as long as possible. And we got him. Kemper. Okay, now I want to move units to the right to get ready for the next battle, which is going to be his final group of reinforcements. We have 2 hours and 32 minutes. Yeah, and I shouldn't be eager to fight these guys on open ground. Not without my artillery up. I should have this infantry fall back. But this is the end of the battle, and I'm kind of thinking more in terms of everybody get up and get shots. I have more units than he does. If I get 2 or 3 units on each one of his, I'll take losses. Probably, my guess is 1,000 losses by fighting it this way, but my infantry will get more experience. But I shouldn't be fighting these guys in the open. But look, I already routed his first unit that came in of 3 stars just by getting more units and supporting artillery on him. Okay, Archer's going to make a wild dash for the victory location. That's fine. He's isolated. As soon as he routes, I'll just have everybody get on top of him. It'll be over. Yeah, he's getting torn up. Okay, there he is. He's flashing white. These guys are all just getting experience. Have everybody charge and get on top of him. Capture him. My long-range guns have already taken out his artillery. My cav is behind him, keeping an eye on everything. Why was that guy up that close? He shouldn't have been that close. Okay, he shattered in the north. Yeah, we're just tearing him up. So now I'm thinking about how to get the most captures, get the infantry all moving forward. I'm not doing it as efficiently as possible. There are units that are not moving. That's because there are a lot of units. And I'm getting sloppy. So these 3 units have greater range. My scout units have greater range than his infantry, so I'm just standing firing at him at greater range. So he can't fire at me, but my little units can stand there and fire at him. Works for me. I think 2 of my wagons emptied. 2 empty supply wagons. Yeah, moving the 24H up, that'll be morale destroying. Moving Napoleons up. Yeah, he's pretty much done. I want to have my infantry charge before he shatters. I want to get a couple of captures out of this. So my infantry's having a hard time getting there. He's collapsing faster than my infantry can get on top of him. And as soon as I fire now, he routs. So, need to get some captures. I've changed the resolution on my computer for this battle to very low resolution, which is why you can't see the southern edge of the map. It's covered up with the UI. Usually not a problem, but it's going to be difficult for you to see. The enemy has 2 units here, and I'm having everybody charge. Let's see, we get on top of the first one. That's hard to get on top of him. And we captured the first one. The second one is here. I didn't realize the terrain went off to the right quite a distance. So I'm having everybody walk over there and then charge. I should be sending my commander too. Yeah, I finally send my commander to give a buff to morale. There are 2 units I forgot about on the other side of the map. Maybe they can pitch in. And I think my 3-inch fired a shot. So I lost 10,600. The enemy lost 72,000. So yeah, that was great. I wanted to get 60,000. I got 72, 16,000 captures. I could have reduced my losses. This was the first time I played this battle. It was great fun. The JMP mod is just great fun, but you can really tell, like on Brigadier General, the enemy, you scale up faster than the AI. On Major General, he scaled up much faster than me. And I can really feel it here. My artillery obviously got all the big kills. Look at all these artillery units. They're just standing there firing away. That's great, but it's also expensive. That ammo is not free. My infantry got some kills, but look at the losses these guys took. My Cav took a beating, but did a great job fighting. So I'm real happy with the way the units fought, but my infantry has to get to 2 unit perks, has to. I can't fight 3-star units with 1-star and no star infantry. So this is where not going into training early is costing me. So all of the artillery is doing really well. The infantry is taking a lot of losses. Now the good news is I can replace all these losses easily because the quality of my recruits is higher than the vast majority of the units that I have. So I have units of 13, 14, say 20 efficiency, and I now am at 27. I'm going to be at 30, 31 efficiency for my recruits. So putting recruits actually drives up the efficiency of putting raw recruits into units without spending money on training. Just raw recruits drives up the efficiency of my units. Yeah, his units obviously did not do very well. Yeah, look at these. In some cases, my units, that unit did well. But some of these, my units are getting 1-to-1 infantry, 1-to-1 kills. The infantry are just bodies, a meat shield for the artillery, cav, snipers. And they cannot fight one-on-one with the enemy. Yeah, these guys just walked across the map. They didn't do anything. Lots of promotions. This is really good. Yeah, Schaefer. Melee Cav Commander. Hey, Bobby Woods made it to 3 stars. Like to see him be a Corps Commander. Okay, that is 16,000, no, 11, 12,000 Lorenzes. The rest of it, not so great. Okay, these are all recovered. I thought I got some Harper's Ferries. Yeah, there. Yeah, 200. Okay. Got 1,000 infields. Yeah, that's good. And I'll buy a bunch of 61s. My army should be almost entirely Lorenzes and 61s for Fredericksburg. I have no idea what to do with this guy. Maybe Cav. Turn him into a Cav unit, maybe. I don't know. Okay, General Gibbon. Cool. These guys will be able to go to 12 with raw recruits, 12 guns, and keep their perk. These guns are terrific. Almost 2 stars? No. So my infantry is still very weak. I think that gun got 2,000 kills. 24H got a bunch of kills, so they're both 3 stars now. Oh, and the 3-inch is perked for will be perked for long range, and I'll be able to buy 12 20-pound parrots. So that becomes a 20-pound parrot unit, 3 stars, right out of the gate. Those two guys, the Sharps and the JF Browns, did not come in. Too bad. I need to expand my army. I have to go into army organization. I've run out of unit slots. So obviously I have 93 points I have to spend. I probably have to spend 35 or 40 points. So I want the 12-pound parrots, and maybe I'll take the 63s. I have a lot of points I have to spend before Fredericksburg. So that guy, if they have a star next to their name, that means I gave them the perk before the battle by putting a 3-star general in the unit, and then they just got their perk during the battle. So that's what that means. That guy got his perk during the battle. You know, so did the unit next to him. And I can also see how many battles the unit fought to get their perk. So the unit had an 18 in parentheses. He had 18 efficiency, and in his second battle he got his unit perk. That's good to know. So that guy's fought 2 battles and he didn't make it, but he has Enfields. He did. Owen did. Kershaw did. Paxton, 2 battles. Yeah, these guys had 55. And 55s, they're not getting enough experience, and they're very low efficiency. So I built these guys obviously early in the campaign, and they're not leveling up. 14 efficiency, 2 battles. Could be 2 more battles before, this unit gets... Although, if I take him to 2,000 men with the higher level of recruits, maybe 1 more battle, because he'll go up in efficiency with a bunch of recruits added to him. So, yeah, these guys... These guys, I don't think these guys are in the battle long enough to do very much. Doesn't like they did hardly any fighting, and these guys did no fighting, I don't think. 17, the numbers are even, so they didn't even fight. And I have $397,000, 16,900 recruits. Three career points to spend. Yeah, the army looks pretty good. We've got to get these infantry leveled up, though, to 2 perks. Efficiency of 28. So these recruits are much better than this experienced unit that has been in 3 battles. And by adding raw recruits, I actually drive up the efficiency. So, yeah, training is very, very powerful. Training is going to be completely changed in the next version of the mod, because it is really powerful. You can get to Antietam with an economy start, but I don't think I'd recommend it. Training is just too good. Now, I haven't figured out how to get to Antietam, with a training start, but it is possible. And if you can do it, you're going to be much further ahead. Yeah, I'm going to get 40 points, so I need to spend 37. Yep, I have to spend 37 points, right? 30. No, no, no. I'm sorry, I went the other way. So I'm going to get 40 points. I'm going to get 40 points. So I have to spend 33. Notice how it's 30 units per corps. So I definitely want to have 5 corps, so maxed out army organization. And look at the size of my army, plus 16,000, plus whatever I get in the next 2 side battles, which actually isn't much. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. It was fun. The JNP mod is great. Highly recommend it. Antietam was a really fun battle. Looking forward to leveling up my army for Fredericksburg. So I'll see you next time.